It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 4. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
In motion right is Aguilar. And they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Third and 5. Throwing is Jackson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Motion man is Crowder. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. To the air goes Daniels. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Going right back to Dotson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Daniels looking to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. In motion right is Aguilar. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
A quick pass out to Aguilar. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. Find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson now. To the sideline and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. They find some open field here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And McLaurin, the motion man right. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action, now it's Daniels. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. Now Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. It's caught by Aguilar. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now it's Jackson. A short one there, caught by Likely. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. A shotgun handoff to Henry. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Now it's Jackson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
They go play action. Daniels. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing now is Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Here's Hardy set to return. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Flowers. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 6 now. Jackson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. And Jackson throwing once more. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington. And now fourth down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Now Daniels. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence. The big plays are out there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Eluding the pressure right. And a loose football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. On the return, Hardy. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run. Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. Taken down at the 47-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd down and 8. In motion, Aguilar. 2nd down, they go again with Henry. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw is Jackson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18. That gain on third down, good for 28.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Here's Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 yards to go, second down. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. That time a 6-play drive, and Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Washington offense going back to work. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Motion man is Crowder. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Complete, it's Dodson. Fights through and now a crease. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 32-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going. So, you know, I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. To throw is Daniels.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter state.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And that is incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6. They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll run it again with Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. A handoff, running left, Henry. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Henry out of the pistol. And he has the Ravens first down, and it would appear that that's going to be the one to do it. And they take a knee. Henry up the middle. Oh, and now some space to operate. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gault. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.